it's Tina at Tina Stitches. Welcome to my channel. This is a channel all about cross stitch and a few other crafts thrown in. It's going to be a quick update today, I think, because I feel like even though it's been 3 weeks since my last video with Gail and Amy, that I don't think I have a whole lot to show. I say that, but I actually have some finishes. I have three finishes, and that's probably more than I've had all year up to now. So I didn't tally my, finishes for the year, but it's probably around 5. And 3 of them are these. So one thing to note about this is that 2 of them were started this year, if I remember right, and 1 of them was started just last year. So yeah, and then aside from that, I have 2, the big projects, full coverage, and 2 medium projects. So I guess we should just get into it. I'm going to show you my biggest finish first. And it's not ironed. I should have ironed it, but it's not. And it's not fully finished. I think that it possibly could have been fully finished, except for the fact that my sewing machine is out of commission and Canada Post is on strike. In case I didn't say it, today is Sunday, November 24th. Yeah, the 24th. It's 2 in the afternoon. Pretty gray out, so anyways. This is the Christmas stocking that I am making for my son-in-law. And this is Cranberry and Pines, designed by Rosewood Manor. And this I did stitch with the called for threads, called for fabric, called for beads. And yeah, here's how it turned out. It looks really, really good. And if you followed me for the last couple months, I've shown this more frequently in the last couple months. You would know that I had run out of the red beads that are called for and had to scramble to find more, but I did manage to find enough. I think that was the tree there that was left empty just in case we had to do some clever beadwork, and I had some very good options tossed my way, and the only reason I didn't do it was because I would have to figure out a way to balance it down here, and my mind space is not there right now. I just wanted to have it done, and it is ready to be assembled. So I attached my beads. In this project, I attached them with 2 strands of DMC 712 because it happens to disappear because it matches the fabric. So yeah, so there's a lot of beads. I don't know if you can tell. So in total, I had bought the recommended amount. I can't remember what that was. Oh wait, let's see, it's right here. Beads, and the fabric is 28 count platinum cashel linen, because that was what it called for.
and it says 3 packets of Mill Hill beads. So that's what I had bought, but I recommend go at least 5 packets of Mill Hill beads of the same color if you can't find the one, or you know, the equivalent in Delicas. And honestly, if I had realized, and I should have listened, if I had been smart, I should have just used this set of Delica beads that I had already in my stash. But I really wanted the darker red, so here it is. So now I'm going to pause, and I'm going to put this over there for the finish of the week. Okay, so there it is, Roman stocking. So I might as well show you another stocking. Since it's my next whip, I'm not going to say focus, but it is the next stocking that I want to finish. That's for sure. I think more on that another time. This is the Sled Stocking by Dimensions. Here's what it will look like when it's finished. And here's where it was when you last saw it. Which I don't remember where it was when you last saw it, but here's where it is now. And I'm pretty sure I showed you the red was all filled in. So I came down here and I started to work on the sled. Just bringing this across, I did the back stitch for all up here, minus the sled. So the sled has to be back stitched, preferably as we go. But look at those geese. I mean, just the little details. They don't look all that detailed when you're stitching them, but adding that back stitch really, really makes it pop. Which is why I like to back stitch as I go, because then I get to see the details are finished. Some people like to leave it all till the end. I find sometimes that's okay, but this is a project that has a ton of backstitch and other special directions, so I prefer to get it done as I'm going. Okay, so I guess I'm going to show you this, and it's another kit. Things are falling over already. And I think I showed this in my last video, and if I did, there's not a lot of progress, not a lot of change. Yeah. This is Girl in a Poppy Field by Vervico. Yes, Girl in a Poppy Field. I normally just call her Poppy Girl. That's what she would look like finished. I started it on the kit fabric, tossed that right away. I had this beautiful 32 count platinum linen of some sort, in my stash, and lots of it available for this project. And let's do a side by side so you can see before and after. May not be a lot of difference. There's a mistake, and it's a pretty big mistake, and so I have to do some fudging. So that's why this is not getting the love it deserves. I was on a roll. I was just blasting through this piece and then realized my mistake, my blunder. And so I have to fix that before I can go any further. Yeah, so girl in a poppy field. Not exactly in a timeout, but I need to take a break from her for now. Okay, so now let's do another finish, because why not? The next project that I finished was my lunchtime project. So that one I finished first. I finished that one around the 10th of November. This one I finished around the 13th is what I have marked. This is a finish for now. So this is ink circles, well suited. This is meant to be stitched over 2 threads on 32 count, and it would be 7.5 by 7.5 done that way. I chose not to do that. Instead, I did it 1/1 full cross on 25 count even weave, and here's what it looks like now. It's finished. I'm sure it wasn't finished in my last video, because this is a finish now. And the most recent things that I did would go this way, and this would be the last corner I worked on, right there. And filling in the gold and the red in just this corner and one of those. But yeah, so none of the called for threads. This is DMC black, Turkish red by Weeks Dye Works, and PB02, I believe, PB35 by Petite Treasure Braid, Rainbow Gallery. So it's a finish for now because I need to make a companion piece next to it here so that I can turn it into a biscornu. That's the plan. So keeping all the threads and fabric and everything together still. It's a finish for now. So that was ink circles. So this is the one of the other pieces that I'm stitching on, the 25 count even weave antique white. I'm terrible at that. Okay. This is Inner Depths by Chris Ortega, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. Here's what it will look like when it's finished, and what it looked like before today's video. You know, in the last video, this is how it looked. And here's where it's at now. And I am back over here and working my way this way. Still loving it. There's a lot of detail in there. And yeah, I can't wait till I'm working over here again, because this is where she is sitting. That's her hair and goggles right there. So, yeah. So there's that. Okay. So another finish. This is literally from the same piece of cloth that the ink circles pattern. I cut up one piece of 25 count even weave and split it among 3 projects. Ink circles well suited was one of them, and this is the other, one of the others. This is the Story Keep by Heaven and Earth Designs. The artwork is by Selena Fennick, and this design is now retired. And I've always loved this image, and I had wanted to stitch the full-size one, but with everything that I'm working on, I knew that I was never going to get around to doing that one as a full-size. So I decided to grab the Story Keep version, and yeah. So there is one thing that Heaven and Earth is, it's a charting, it's not an error, but they use Kreinik 32 number 4 braid in some of their designs, and it shows up as DMC 32. So if you're not familiar with it, if it says 32 Kreinik, that means use the Kreinik, not DMC. And that was called for in this pattern, and I wasn't going to use it simply because of where it was placed. But it was placed in 2 spots, and in the one spot I used it and it was fine. So it was the lightest shade, obviously white. So I changed that for white where it was in her flesh. But everywhere else, such as the book and this piece of the chair, the moon reflecting in the background, I think, that's the Kreinik in there, and then the book. And the definition, it's a little bit blurry, you know, pixelated, whatever. But if you're looking at it from afar, you still know what it is. It's still a very beautiful image. So, yeah. So that has got me considering doing minis instead of a full-size Heaven and Earth, because it's a little bit of satisfaction on a full coverage scale. So, yeah. Now, I have one more whip. I think that's it. And then we do have haul. So, this last whip is the one that I'm working on with
Kim and Caroline. Well, I say that I'm working on this with a lot of other people too. But we started it together in August of, when was it, 2022? I think. World Cross Stitch Day. We have a Facebook group and everything. And yeah, so this is a stitching shelf by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm stitching the regular size max color because I'm not going to go with a super size, but I want definition. So regular size, max color. Here's where it was. Here's what it's supposed to look like. And here's where it was when you last saw it. And here it is now. And, well, it's almost a finish. It's kind of a finish, right? Because this room, vignette, whatever you want to call it, that's done. So, yeah. So I'm stitching this seasonally, kind of. I'm in the Northern Hemisphere in Canada, and so it is fall, technically, until the middle of December. But, so I'm working on spring. It's a thing that I started doing a long time ago, so, yeah. So spring, and then come December 21st, or whenever that, the winter equinox is, whatever, then I will move over to summer. And I don't know which direction I'm going to go on in summer, because I think I can go either way. But for now, spring is going to get more, probably shelf and books over here, until it's time to switch over. And that's where it's at. And it is going to be rotated out. For those who don't know my routine, my rotation, I stitch on my full coverage for about 20 minutes a day in the morning. So that's why you don't see huge amounts of progress. And I rotate them between that, the inner depths, and Hatter. Stitching shelf gets twice as much time as the other two. So that's why it's getting, you see the progress a bit better on that one. So the next one in the rotation, stitching shelf has just met its goal of 1,000 per rotation. So I will be going over to Hatter tomorrow. As for other plans, I do have English Garden Welcome by Teresa Wentzler put on the frame. That's by my chair. And the Sled Stocking, oops, this one, has become my snow day stitch, which I did do on Friday. It did snow here Friday, and so that little bit of red there, that was my one length of minimum requirement for this, because I was on a roll with this. So this, I did my minimum, and then I went back to this because this was going to be finished. So this is my snow day stitch, and it may get more love than just the one length, because that's how, that's supposed to be the encouraging part about it. Pick it up, work on it, do the minimum, and maybe keep going. Yeah. So English Garden Welcome, because Teresa Wentzler, I've been hearing a lot of Teresa Wentzler sals, and it needs some love. And I'm not really into Christmas in November, so I just don't,
I mean, I'm doing the stockings, right? So I don't want to overload Christmas just yet. My decorations don't go out until the beginning of December. Personal choice. But yeah. So, haul. Let me put this aside somehow and get the haul, because I had to order beads, so I had to order a bunch of other things. And some things are pure luxury items, and others are, well, I had to have the beads. So there's going to be crinkle. So I had 2 orders placed, and I got 3 shipments. One of the items that I ordered from 123 was on back order, and so it was shipped later than the rest, and it came first. And that was this cute little pair of scissors, because I like scissors, right? So yeah, so that's one of the things that I got, and that was from 123. So the rest of this is from 123, and I really wasn't sure that Haunted was supposed to look like this. So I'm annoyed because I didn't know, and I thought Haunted was more of a blue color. Let me open it up. This is Haunted by Picture This Plus, and it's a beautiful color. I'm considering a mermaid on this because I can't remember if I ordered it for something specific, but being it's Haunted, I didn't expect it to be a greeny color. It reminds me a lot of Zephyr, which is what Cassiopeia's on. And she's right here. And so that's Zephyr. Don't look at the chart, but there's Cassiopeia. She hasn't changed much since. It's like pretty much the same fabric. Oh well, so I'll have to figure that out. But anyway, so I got more fabric, and I picked up some Halloween quilt fabric for finishing, because one day I might finish some Halloween smalls. And I got 2 patterns, and I got floss because I ran out of 2 colors, so I had to replenish. Yeah, so I got Nora Corbett letter D berries because I'm collecting some of them, and D is one of the ones that is on the list to be collected. So D, and the Bella Filipina Mad Tea Party, because yeah, when will I work on it? I don't know. And then I got my order from Stony Creek because in our discussion last week, not last week, in my last video with Amy and Gail, there was, Gail had brought up Stony Creek, and somebody else, Dina from Half Stitch Cross Stitch, had also mentioned to go to Stony Creek. So, yeah. So while I was there, I was ordering beads, and they had this cute pattern by Marnik Designs, which is a Canadian company. I don't think you can find any new designs. I don't think that there's a current sales page for them. So if you find these, they've been out of print. Yeah, but still, that's really cute Halloween. And another pair of scissors. So, yeah. So call me crazy because I like scissors, but it's bling, it's jewelry for, you know, needlework. So, yeah. Some people will have a lot of zipper pulls or needle minders. For me, it's the scissors. So anyways, I think that's pretty much it. My plans are really just welcome, English Garden Welcome, and Sled Stocking, and I haven't really started a new project for my lunch project. So, yeah. Need to figure some stuff out and get some stitching done. So, until next time, which could be 2 or 3 weeks, who knows. Things are going to get cold here. Yeah. Hopefully you'll see more snow day stitching. We actually do like snow sometimes. But yeah. So until next time, happy stitching. Take care of each other.